a bit, but the Poppy left up and available. This is something that's been banned quite a bit during these playoffs. We'll get through here, will be the final lock-in for Carrier. Not exactly the most
well, as Doran is continuing to put pressure on in this lane, but won't really find himself with a CS advantage. There's a control ward on that tri-brush, but this is a nice setup for Gen.G.
Yep, there's the hook shot to come in. Hextech Ultimatum comes down there as well as the public execution tries to come out here as Doran has to flash, but the flash forward from Keen! And this Camille looking for a first blood, although doesn't have a lot of mana, but the Winter's Bite is going to land. Doran in a lot of trouble, but still dashing away. Oh my goodness, just the Ambessa things, and Doran is actually gonna be okay.
He's down his flash now and is gonna lose a plate here. But it was a dangerous moment there for Ruler topside. Hits level 6.
Yep, that is going to be the stun onto Carrier. Ruler's still there though and does have a lot of damage. As the flash forward and Ruler will find it, dashes after the Corki, and there is first blood. Hoping that he finds some more impact later into the game.
Look at this calculation here from Ruler, knowing he's going to hit 6 off this minion. Goes for the dash forward first. That cooldown is bleeding, right? And he goes for this arc here, grabs the slow, forces the flash, gets his dash back at the last possible second. Dashed first, he gets it right at the end.
Knocked away. Yeah, well, Braum is just, okay, we've got a little bit more of an engage here towards the bottom side. As now Ruler may immediately get punished, does have the barrier, some sidesteps come through, public execution, and he puts Ruler down. Duro not able to find the Winter's Bite this time. The immediate end, owner not in the area, just finishes the Sundered Sky, but Canyon already had that one in his back pocket, so feeling pretty good. And utilizing that Sundered Sky window, still ping-ponging some waves here. The Rift Herald now down to about 4,000 as Gumayusi Carrier in the area. A bit of a rotation down. The Keeper's Verdict comes through, but it's immediately buffered by the ulti from Canyon. And the heroic entrance comes down there as well. Justice Punch, fantastic. But the Yunara is dead. They've taken down the Poppy, but that is not enough value. And Keen will be wiped out as well. Doran continues the fight. This guy's Ambessa is absolutely absurd as he picks up the triple. Can it be the Quadra? He's tanking up the turret, and he will allow Owner to pick up the kill, although Chovy may not. So he's just going to get himself out of there, but he is the last man standing.
He's the only one alive on the side of Gen.G. And like
for Gen.G, 4-0-1, 1.7k gold lead just for himself.
And big spikes early in this game with the gold that Doran just picked up. So they're going to actually look to gank Doran himself.
Yep, looking for a bit of an angle here. Hextech Ultimatum comes down. Public Execution comes in as Carrier is going to evict the Camille. And now it's only Canyon and Duro that are down here underneath this turret. And Doran once again is going to survive.
Doesn't even have to flash in the exchange. Carrier getting huge value out of the Keeper's Verdict there to save the play. Now Owner's here and Duro's left alone.
Yep, he's going to put down the door. Tries to flash his way out, but there's a teleport coming in. Ulti from Duro coming on through here, and I think they know that this Braum is dead. Keen still going to go in, but Faker's teleport. Now Keen is in so much trouble. Ruler comes down, protects with a Slurkle. And that is going to be it. Oh, never mind the edge of the shockwave, and it's a double kill for Faker on this Orianna.
Saves the ultimate for so long, knows he doesn't need it for the initial kill. Now poised to take this mid-turret, are running away with game 1 of the series.
Yep, you've got Chovy now rotating down, but that will be feats of strength. Oh, never mind. Gen.G did lock down feats of strength by taking the top outer turret while we were speaking. But still, being able to break open the mid lane, a huge deal about it is going to be the question.
They just have to give it up. They have that control vision in the pit, and they're just very aware that to pull T1 in. They are going to get Faker's teleport for this.
Yep, that's what they're looking for here, I guess, is the teleport is going to come on through. Keen finds the hookshot angle. There's a Hextech Ultimatum. He delivers the Gargoyle on top. Gumayusi taken down immediately. Now Carrier is going to turn up as Owner with that Crescent Guard is looking for Keen and will be able to find him. It's a 1-for-1 80 carry for top lane, but T1 still looking for more in the 4v4. Carrier dives forward, but Duro's able to get himself out of there with all of his summoner spells. It just belongs to T1, and Gen.G are not going to contest. So, dropping the ball a little bit when it comes to being able to hold on to these objectives here, and T1 can also then augment that with this outer turret. Gen.G just lead to that one working, so he was sort of on his way in there, and then it sort of fizzled out. So he didn't have the access to that for the next target in the fight.
T1, I believe, had like 3 or 4 battles. Yeah, T1 need to pivot over to this Baron.
Well, I mean, Soul is going to be pretty important as well, but Gen.G, they are doing a fair bit of damage to this one, looking to clear out vision as well as Chovy slinks back into the fog of war. T1 is still very dangerous, though, as Keen looking to rotate up. And they have vision that this dragon is not being taken. There's going to need to be a turn from Gen.G. As Keen, he's just going to walk over here and look to start this one up as T1 just searching for where Gen.G went. This little runaround, this do-si-do that Gen.G did will be able to deny the soul.
That was
very
a really
cute.
high-value blue trinket here that actually identified that Doran got off the dragon. They then scried where he was and came over here.
That one back relatively well, as you can see. 2,000 gold at 30 minutes into the game.
And the turn off of Baron is kind of awkward for T1. It's going to be so reliant.
Oh, yeah. Public execution comes down. The flash forward from Keen, and Doran gets over the wall, but Keen follows him with the ulti. Canyon comes down, but I think this would have been a solo kill for the Camille, and I'm pretty sure she's online, but the jungler was in the bottom lane.
And that means they just have to hard send it in the bottom lane and try to get as many turrets as they can. They're going for mid first, and they're going to try to get that bottom outer as well.
Yep, the Baron comes up. The catch from the ulti out of Duro is fantastic, but the rest of the cavalry are turning up, and the outer turret is still getting worked on. Faker's still alive. Down goes Canyon as Chovy's heroic entrance doesn't look exactly like that, but Keen is still a monster. The Crescent Guard comes in from Owner, but he still goes down. Double taunt from Chovy, and the Winds of War will be able to take another one down from the grave. Faker is going to be able to shut him out, but difficult for Gen.G to do anything about. As Canyon charging that Vault Breaker, the engage Braum comes in from Duro as they're looking to split these fights, but Canyon is so difficult to deal with. Doran getting into that backline though, as now Ruler's doing his best to kite him out, and the public execution is ignorable, and now Chovy finds 3. Justice for Owner as it's a double for Canyon, and the Gen.G freight train is burning down the bottom lane as Ruler picks up his 3,000th assist, and I have a feeling the Camille's scaled in this game.
I think so. Down goes Guma. It's the full clean ace of T1. And we go back
to
and look
see
at
what they can do. T1 still formidable, still scary as the Slurkle comes in. Keen just halving the health bar of Owner. What is the Galio poke? What the heck was that about?
Big damage.
It's actually doing a fair bit of work. Here's Keen finds the angle. He gets on top of Owner, but it's Ruler's damage that we need to be wary of. And he takes down Doran. The Crescent Guard comes in, but Chovy just says, no, you're not allowed to engage. Duro and Canyon dealing with Owner off to the side, and the rest of the fight is going to be there as Keen gets out of the way of Faker, and Faker will overextend, unfortunately. Chovy able to take that one down. Steadfast presence just doesn't feel very steadfast at this stage of the game, and Gen.G just think, nah, it's not really about the Dragon when we can kill a Nexus and take game 1.
I think the eyes were for Dragon. T1 get caught by the Keen flank, and their eyes are now for Nexus. Is Keen so far behind this game? How many games is this guy going to be? Like, remember his game was 1-4 on Gwen, and it just pops off later. This guy is taken over.
Well, Carrier now trying to be a hero, but that charge ain't going to work. Guma just dies in the blink of an eye, and the Nexus will explode. Gen.G looked. They gave up so much in this game.